What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today we are going to do some broken spaces with my Destiny rank 6 Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Just going to have some fun in here, just going to see how it works out, how much damage we can do. And well, okay, the 8 and the Husband obviously not that much of a block for us. They can't really do anything, but I'm pretty intrigued to see how much it dot scales the team that I came up with. Well, it's like an adaptation of my Flame Shrine team. We still have the MFF in here, we still have SQH, but I put the Elysium in here because he scales damage over time quite a lot. And I kept the Olivia, which is just a very great hero, especially for those game modes, will save us from a bit of damage and stuff. And then we have Elena, because she's also a pretty strong buff hero, will help against CC and all of this good stuff. So I'm quite eager to see what we can do here. I thought about making him a little bit slower. The only problem with it is, yeah, we run max soul power on this Star Alchemist Holmes Young, which makes this a little bit difficult. Basically, what you can look out for every time a hero does an active skill, you will see that little green flash appear on the hero, and this is every time his Destiny transition skill activates and deals damage to the hero. Usually in PvE that's not quite that strong. But still, in PvP, that's quite insane. I will make a video, by the way, about his PvP performance as a members video. This will be the members video for this month. Should be quite interesting. Note, though, on round 1, we do a basic skill and we gain transition power on active skills. So after he attacked on turn 2 is the first time you usually see those flashes appear, those green flashes that deal all of the damage. In PvP, they absolutely destroy, trust me on that. So basic attack. Still did, I mean, the HP really isn't what it was before. I remember this actually being difficult. And now after the MFF attacks, you can see it. There it is, and you can see those active skills literally double in damage just because of the extra damage they gain from the Star Alchemist Holmes Young. Can you keep up with something like LFA? No, obviously not at all. LFA is still the way stronger boss damage dealer, but in PvP, if you tried LFA there, oftentimes doesn't really do anything, while this guy is certainly on another level. Okay, I guess we see some damage over time now, because that took quite long to load, and that often happens if you use damage over time and have a Elysium on board. So let's see what happens there. Every time they do an active skill, basically we get 1600% damage, or 1200, I'm not quite sure, as also some dot scaling in there, and we have all of the DT nodes that activate. Sadly though, now you can see on turn 3, after we did another active skill, no more flashes. That's when he reaches 12 layers, and there he consumes all of his layers. So then he has to gain it all the way back again, but he also gains 50% attack, a bunch of holy damage, bunch of all damage reduction, which is still quite insane. So let's see what we can really do here. A lot of his damage, sadly, isn't damage over time, so really, he is mainly a damage dealer, but I wanted to try how it looks like, how it feels when we have the Elysium there, if we can scale that up to some proper damage over time. I hope that we can, because that would be quite cool to have another damage over time build. Obviously, we can't quite target it like we used to do with LFA. But I'm honestly happy if we can beat this stage in a decent amount of attempts. Given that we don't run Giant Killer on this guy, I probably wouldn't be surprised if this stage is not a one-shot. It certainly doesn't look like it as well. So yeah, but am I happy with Star Alchemist Holmes Young? A lot of people were a bit confused. I think a lot of people expected me to go LFA and do LFA as my first Destiny rank 6 here, and I have to say, I found LFA quite boring. LFA has a skill, his Destiny transition skill 6 is just like, okay, now he does 1000% attack damage more on his DC skill, and does some CC, does some attack reduction, but it's really not worth mentioning, and especially in a boss fight scenario, doesn't really change a whole lot. So he wasn't that interesting for me, I should say. I still expect way better results from this Star Alchemist Holmes Young. That he now shines more in PvP than in PvE, I kind of expected it, but I also kind of like it, I have to say. Also, this, by the way, is an interesting opportunity. I wanted to see if the DT scales with Endless Cane. It certainly seems like it. I mean, we now get pretty strong hits when the DT activates. I suppose we see that on the next turn. I think this turn was the turn where he reached 12 layers. So let's see what happens this turn. Not quite sure. The Gloria is starting to take major damage, but the EOS still standing strong. So it's not that much damage really that we did here. If we used a DT LFA, we probably would have destroyed that. But I think you will see some pretty cool PvP gameplay in the future from Star Alchemist Holmes Young. I very much can see him be better. 1.8 E plus 14 is not quite that bad for what we did here. Interestingly enough, big part of it from the SQH. Okay, quite surprising, I have to say. Not even homeowner. I guess she has 10 divine power as well. So in that sense, Delacium didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, we could pretty much replace him. I'm not really sure. When you have this damage over time buff ability in his active in his Destiny transition, but we don't have too many damage over time heroes. We have Ithaka, well, that is no longer meta, and then we have MFG, and MFG, I don't really have a good copy. I have like an A- still, but for PvP, he was never really the greatest hero, I fear. So yeah, a bit of a problem. So let's switch this team up a little bit and then try it again. Okay, I swapped the Delacium for Heartwatcher, given that we don't have enough damage over time really, with just the Star Alchemist Holmes Young to make him worth it. I figured it would be quite alright to mostly go for damage. I really want to make something with Delacium, with Star Alchemist Holmes Young, and probably an MFG. It's a bit hard though. Maybe in the future, I guess the next hero and the hero most people are looking forward to me testing is still Star Swordsman Mockman, and I really want to do that. He will soon be tested. I need a bit more spiritual essence. I need a bit more sublimation materials. He's currently on level 101 on the tree, so I need to get him 19 levels higher, and I still need 45,000 sublimation materials. And then he is in the position where I could put DT materials on him, and at that point, I figure we will do that. Maybe in a live stream. Maybe just in a big video, but I think a lot of people want to see him. Actually, guild member of mine, Norman, he built an D6 SSM, and he tried him out in PvP, recently sent me a screenshot. Quite insane. Quite insane, pretty big damage. I was very surprised. Well, not really. I mean, I bought the SSS for a reason. I think this is one of the coolest Destiny transition skills. Him and Star Alchemist Holmes Young are like the favorites of mine in terms of Destiny transition skill, the most interesting ones, and seeing that both now perform pretty well and actually perform as we expected them, that is very nice to see. Because, well, I had my doubts. I was like, okay, maybe there are some changes. Maybe those repeating Destiny transition skills don't trigger all of the DT, the pivot nodes, but they do. They do a ton of damage, they work very well, and seem to be the most devastating Destiny heroes right now. Though we are still in the earliest stages of this meta, where we are still discovering what's happening, what we can do, and what is going to be played in the next few weeks. And that we have to find out about that. Many people build their favorite heroes early on. I saw some Destiny rank 6 TBBs, which makes sense. TB is a strong hero. Putting more divine power on her is fairly interesting, though I don't think her Destiny transition skills are that strong. I didn't see a Destiny rank 6 LOS yet. That will be fairly interesting. I thought that his Destiny rank 6 is pretty cool. SSM seems to particularly do well, and the people that build LFA probably don't really care about his PvP performance anyway. I guess this is mostly a thing for PvE, and they mostly look forward for the SE season. And there, I mean, LFA always did well, and so that will also be the case right now. So I think we did more damage this time around. We still have one more active skill to go, though this is one of the turns where we don't really get Destiny transition, so pretty low damage. But yeah, with the LFA we usually kill it quite easily, but yeah, that is indeed a lot more damage. Okay. Again, the SQH. Interesting. Okay, let's smash that. I think we need about 2 attempts, I reckon, given the damage that we dealt. And with that, we are through here. Then we do one more attempt on this, which is probably not going to go well, given that we use Heartwatcher and Olivia in here. And yeah, I'm pretty eager to show you guys some more PvP stuff. If there is stuff you want to see, write me in the comments. Show me some things that I might present to you. We have a lot of heroes that we can test. Basically, every single Destiny transition hero on my account could be made into a Destiny rank 6 at one point. This means SQH, this means PDE, this means Ferroquin Vessel, TBB are all possible. We still have level 120 on Vulcan as well, so that could be easily set up. The LOS is still level 120, the SSM will soon be level 120, so if any of those heroes are interesting to you, just let me know, and I will try to set them up and make a video about them as soon as possible, given the limitations of my account and mainly the soul symbols. Yeah, the soul symbols are really the problem here, because we can't just go ahead and use up all of my soul symbols. If there was a meta switch in any way, I would then sit there and be unable to compete at all. So we have to be a little bit careful with that, because on the one hand, I want to show you guys every single hero and every single piece of information that I can find. But then again, we are a bit limited by the resources that we have. And that was it with the Heartwatcher. Still quite devastating, this forces. But might just have been enough. It breaks our energy feed a little bit, but that is not too bad. I figure, I mean, we are on turn 10 and they have lost like, what is that? 3%, 5%? Yeah. So not the best PvE damage dealing hero, I fear. He did decently well in tower against the stages that don't necessarily need to be bursted down. I mean, I kind of think I might use him in the team when I fight with my LFA in Realm's Gate. But yeah, you see the damage. It is not bad, but for all of the investment in the hero, it is not that much either. More of a PvP guy, I reckon. Or support. I mean, he has also quite a few support abilities that can be used to great effect. So, so let me know definitely which heroes are interesting for you, which heroes you want to see, and I will try to fight them. So 2.15 E plus 14. Pretty decent, I guess. 6%. With LFA, we can probably one-shot it by now. Yeah, good. Again, those are the heroes. SAHY, PDE, LFA, SQH, TBB. Oh, I forgot DGN. DGN as well. Ferroquin Vessel, and then we have LOS still 120, and DTV still 120, and SSM on the way to 120. So those are the ones I can show fairly easily. Just let me know who you care about the most, and I will try to make it happen. With that, I wish you guys a great day. See us in the next one.